Welcome to Did She Really Say That? The podcast that's shaking up the world of female entrepreneurship and inviting women to come and share their story and what the shift has been for them to really have that balanced lifestyle that they truly desire. And inside of that, some tips and tricks along the way around business, marketing, and money. Hey everyone, my name is Chef Katrina. I am your co-host today in this, and I don't know why I said I'm a co-host because I'm the only one hosting this today, but we're gonna have fun anyway. My name is Chef Katrina. I have been an online digital marketer for over a decade. I love working with women in business, showing them a different way to customize and balance their life so they don't feel like they're always in the constant to-do mode. Today's conversation is with Danielle, and this is going to be an extraordinary conversation. So you might want to bring out the box of tissues. You might want to celebrate the joy of living your life to the fullest and learn what it's been like to be a journey on the journey of female entrepreneurship and the success that's about to happen right around the corner. Hey, Danielle, welcome to our show.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Chef. I'm excited to be here to share my journey and hopefully share a little hope and resistance, perseverance for others out there.
Your story is really incredible. I remember when we first met via a Zoom call, just like this podcast,
Hmm.
and I asked you what drove you to kind of live this lifestyle because you have a really unique entrepreneurial lifestyle. You love being out there, you love being on the road, you love like that nomad lifestyle. And I know so many of us women's like, I wish I could have that. So let's go back to what was the start of your journey? What was the first thing you did that walked you into the world of entrepreneurship?
Well, years ago, I started selling Pampered Chef because I wanted all of those amazing cooking tools. That was my first little dibble in it. I didn't get too much into it and I didn't like packing all that cookware around, but I love the products, which I still have today, by the way. But that was my dabble in entrepreneurship. I've worked every job you can imagine. And it's mainly because I wanted to find something that set my whole heart on fire, right?
Mhm.
I wanted to help people. And so I just kept going from job to job until I found that. I even worked in the oil fields, and that was actually one of my favorite jobs. But if you name it, I've probably done it, all within reason. But I just kept searching for something more. And in 2014, I guess this is what kind of set my path down the road where I am today. I was diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer. I was living in Denver at altitude at the time, and yeah, I was a realtor, and that was good because I like the flexibility. I have a hard time being a 9 to 5er like most of us entrepreneurs do. And of course, we work way more than 9 to 5.
Oh yes, always.
What's a 40-hour work week, right?
We have no idea. We just
Yeah.
work it into our lives, and our lives are our work. Like
Right.
totally
But it's
different
a
place.
gift, when you're working from Mallorca, Spain or Switzerland. I mean, hey, we'll take it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was sick. I had 7 surgeries, 8 rounds of chemo. During that time, my son, turned to drugs in order to cope. He thought he was losing his mom. And I had a situation in my relationship, my 7.5 years of relationship, where he turned to other women. So I was really at a low point in my life. I was 100 pounds soaking wet, went through chemo. I was on oxygen because I lived at 8,000 feet and I couldn't breathe. And I didn't even think of the altitude, nor did they share that with me.
Mm.
So I was just struggling, and I just didn't want to be here. The turning point was church. It was Red Rocks Church, Easter Sunday, 2015. I get goosebumps every time I tell the story because I was just done. I came into cancer in a really good space. I got this, cowboy up, I'm fine. But it just didn't happen that way. And then with all the personal things that were happening to me, I was at a loss. And the message that day was God's silence is not an indicator of his absence. Hold on, he's got a plan for you, just can't see it yet. And I was like, okay. I mean, I walked out crying 3 times, and I'm like, okay, if I can turn my pain into my purpose and I can help people, then this will all be worth it, right? And so I put my big girl panties back on again, right? And I just kept moving. Ended up leaving the relationship, starting over at 40. One of my surgeries failed, and in chronic pain. I mean, just not in a good place, but I had that hope. And so actually, I went on a healing journey. Mentally, I wasn't in a good place. I went to Sedona, Arizona, And, there's a lot of amazing energy and healers there. And that's where a doctor introduced me to energy medicine, or PMF. And I thought, I have the BRCA gene, and I have 3 little sisters that have the gene as well. And I just didn't want them to go through what I went through. So I'm like, they introduced me to this device. It was $6,000. I'm like, hey, I've got nothing to lose, everything to gain. I bought it. Well, in 4 days, my pain was gone. In 5 months, I was off all pharmaceutical drugs. And I just realized that this was why I was here. I also almost overdosed. My doctors had me on Ambien and Xanax at the same time for a year.
Mm.
And so there was another instance. It's like, okay, like, give me this, right? What is it? And so I just took it and ran with it. And so that's how my entrepreneurial journey became. I had no idea what I was doing. And I can tell you, I'm still, as you're helping me, Chef, you're helping me through this process, but I am still learning so much because times are changing, right? And we have to change with the times and with AI and everything that's coming at us. And it's hard for me to pass things over to people. So, this is a relationship-based business, and I really want to be there for my clients, but I'm learning how to do that in a way that's better serving for me, because I need some time off too.
Yeah, and I think the balance is something we all look for women. So just stepping back a little bit, you mentioned some sort of was it a Brax gene or
Yeah, the BRCA gene.
yeah, so what is that? For those that don't know, including myself, can you
Oh,
explain a little bit more of that one?
well, I'm sure you've heard of like Angelina Jolie, who prophylactically removed her breasts because she had
Mm,
a gene. So there's 2 different genes, and it's just a gene that runs in your family. There's a 50% chance you can have it if one of your parents has it. So
mm,
I'm the oldest of 4 girls, and it's kind of an anomaly that all 4 of us had the gene.
interesting.
So it's just, and you can study, back then I didn't really understand. I was all Western medicine. Now that I'm surrounded by holistic doctors, if you study epigenetics, it's the nature versus nurture. Just because you have the gene doesn't mean that it's going to develop itself. You have to eat right. You have to exercise. Of course, chronic stress is a big issue. And I think that's what kicks a lot of people's cancer into gear. But always there's something else happening underneath the surface. Yeah.
Okay, so talk to us a little bit about that, because I know a lot of women that have been in the world of Western medicine,
Mhm.
and we definitely feel like I've talked to just thousands of women, and that has been one of their concerns is like this doesn't serve me. Like this world of Western medicine isn't geared towards supporting me as a woman; it's geared towards not supporting me. And so you made this transition to holistic. What was that transition like for you? Did you feel like you were battling yourself, or was it more natural to kind of come into the holistic world?
It was natural, very natural. It just flew, or flowed, I guess. I just knew that that's where I was needed to be. Um, I started studying different things, like being introduced to different people, different doctors. Our company's based in Liechtenstein, so I'm going over there. I'm meeting with doctors, and I'm seeing, the first time I went over there, I just cried, and I cried for 2 reasons. And one, it was a little boy with MS that came out of a wheelchair, right? And seeing him walk and seeing the journey. And I was just crying, and I was crying for 2 reasons. One, it's like, I can't believe this is available and we don't have it in the United States, right?
Mm.
But 2, it's like, I can't believe I have this in my hands, and I'm not going to shut up about it, right? And so it's just sharing. And I think, currently, right now, I just keep saying there's never been a time such as this. With RFK at the helm, I'm just so excited to see what's going to happen for the United States, for our children, for our grandchildren, with everything that's going on, removing all the toxins that we've been dealing with for so many years that is causing cancer among so many other diseases.
So what is this? So you kind of danced around it. We've heard about the company. What is this that you
Uh,
keep mentioning? Because everyone's super curious. Listeners are gonna be like, okay, you kind of like dancing around this. So you
uh,
mentioned that you went through holistic. You mentioned you found something that changed your health. What was this thing?
Yeah, it's a magic mat. It's
The
my
magic
magic
mat.
carpet.
Okay, explain the magic carpet to me.
So it just, Nikola Tesla said, if you want to see the secrets of the universe, energy, frequency, vibration, right? And
Mhm,
energy medicine is the new medicine, right? And everything's a frequency. So it's using a frequency to heal the body from the inside out. So it's a mat you lay on twice a day, 15 minutes. And all it does, it's so, so simple. It activates your molecules, right?
mhm.
And when we think of our body, we know that a healthy cell equals a healthy body. Well, what precludes the cell is a molecule. So it's like kind of like a game of dominoes in your body. Your molecules lead to your cells, to your tissues, to your organs, to all of your systems. So it just gently gets everything moving and flowing as God intended. And that's what I say, you know, our bodies were designed to heal themselves. The body knows how to heal itself, but the body doesn't have the energy to heal itself. So just like we charge our cell phone every night, we have to charge our bodies because of all of the outside influences we're being exposed to, and the chronic stress. You know, it's chronic fatigue is probably one of the biggest reasons people go to the doctors right now, because they're just wore out. And there's ways you
Yeah.
can do it naturally. I mean, just go outside and take your shoes off and stand in the grass for 10 minutes 3 times a week. That's going to help you. It's going to feel great. You know, you're soaking in the earth's frequency, and you're also removing those negative ions. So, yeah.
No, and I love that you talk about frequency, because I think this is a conversation we don't honestly talk about enough. I hear
Hmm.
a lot of women that say, I just don't have the energy, or I don't know where my energy is.
Hmm.
And, you know, one of the things that a lot of the women have asked me, especially when we were creating the Create Her Planner, was how do I track my energy? Because most of us are just unaware that a female energy does differ day by day, month by month, in how we take things. So I love the fact that you found something that is so natural.
Hmm.
It is energy. And when we understand that we just need that recharge, like you said, we definitely need the recharge. We need that ability to reset our bodies. And it takes 15 minutes of downtime. My question for you, Danielle, is how difficult is that for most women? I want you to generalize around here. How difficult is it for most women to take 15 minutes to
Well,
recharge?
it is difficult, right? We're
Mm.
always going. And what I love, I just do it in my bed, you know? So I do my Bible study in the morning. So I lay on it, do my Bible study, and then at night I pull it over me like a weighted blanket and fall asleep with it. So for me, that's the easiest way. I mean, some people sit and watch TV, you know, and they can put it on the recliner or something like that, but that's the problem, right? Us women, we don't care for ourselves. We just keep going, going, going. You're taking care of everybody else, or like me, I'm just on the road, go, go, go. And it's taking that time for yourself, because, you know, health is not an expense, it's an investment. And you don't know what it's like until you don't have it anymore. And I went through that on a high level, and you just can't take it for granted.
Yeah. And so talk to me a little bit about frequencies. I think a lot of the women listeners here are curious, like what is the different frequencies? Do you have I mean, I know that there's a big event coming on. We're just going to get to that, but I want you to talk to me a little bit on your knowledge. Are there different frequencies that the body responds to? Like I know for a fact, like our heartbeat is based on a frequency that our
Mhm.
body naturally generates. Our breathing is all like our blinking, all of that is basically energy that's constantly at work inside of our body. So what can you share with us a little bit more about this energy and why this magic mat is so powerful?
Yeah, and you are correct. Every organ operates at a different frequency. So another one of our products have this beautiful little bubble. And so since you bring that up, you can program anywhere from 1 to 1,000 hertz. So let's say you have kidney issues. You could program that. I vibe to 528 hertz. That's the love frequency. I love it. I wear it almost every day, but it's also DNA repair.
Mm.
You know, we have proof, we have clinical researchers showing how it's helping the blood unstack itself in the body, which is a severe issue right now. So it's helping the body heal itself. It also has PMF in it, which is great. But yeah,
What
I
is
mean,
that exactly? What is P? You got to explain some
PEMF.
of this. You know this
Yes.
information. I'm dragging it out of you.
Yes, I love it. PMF is pulsed electromagnetic field. So that's where the frequency emits. There's Tesla coils in here,
Okay.
and it just submits a gentle frequency. Our new product, the mat, is actually, we're creating a whole new category because everything's PMF. If you go research it, you know, China is sending over these mats that are like $300, and they say it's PMF, and people say, well, I got this mat for, you know, only $300. It's like, it's not doing anything. You know, it's not doing anything. So there's definitely different frequencies. There's different patents. Ours are pretty complicated. We have 3 international patents. But it's 5 programs. Rest is bedtime. So one of our patents is It's going to pick you up where you're at and bring you where you need to go, right? So
Okay.
the rest is like when we go to bed, we're in our head. Oh gosh, this happened today, that happened. I got to do this tomorrow. I don't know if you keep a notepad by your bed because you just can't stop thinking, right? So it picks you up where you are and drops you into that deep REM sleep because you need at least 6 hours of that for your body to heal itself and repair for the next day. Balance is just going to balance you out, give you that full body homeostasis, energy. It's like a natural Red Bull. It just picks you up from when you wake up and lifts you up. And then there's one for mental and emotional harmony, which has changed my life. Just recently, as you know, I've gone through 5 hurricanes, 5 moves, and a marriage and a divorce. So mental emotional harmony has been great for me currently.
I love it. I love it.
And
I
then
love
there's
that you
another one that helps the body heal itself, transform. So it repairs and regenerates.
So I love that you talk about this because I think so many of us don't understand that we are always absorbing frequencies, whether it's the electronics around us,
Mm,
the environment, the batteries, like we are always absorbing and taking in. And so we don't always get the best of
yeah.
that. So I love the fact that with you and what you're teaching women and what you're sharing, actually with the world, not just women, but I'm focusing on the women because those are our listeners.
Hmm.
This is a beautiful thing for them to start getting balance. And I think women really are the most unbalanced in terms of energy.
Hmm.
Just because we tend to take on everything, not recognizing that that isn't our role in life. It's not to be everything to everybody. It's to be somebody to ourselves first, and then move on from there. So I love that you talk about the frequency thing. So let's dive into this because not only is the company that you're working with, but you're about to be featured in a Netflix documentary series. Like, oh my God, you're going to be a movie. So explain a little bit of that. How did this all transpire?
Yeah, so there's this gentleman, his name's Stephen Klein. He's a super connector. He connects everyone, you know, especially in the healing space and natural healing modalities. And someone introduced him to me, I don't know, a year and a half ago. And I introduced the products and, you know, he's seen everything and he's experienced everything. And he said, well, this is the real deal. And so there's a company called Lolly Brands Entertainment, Teresa and Anthony Lolly. They're great people. And they do film production. And when they saw all the different healing modalities and different ways they could help people, they decided to do a docu-series. It's called Biohack Yourself. And it's them and their son and daughter, Love and Legend. And they're just going around interviewing people in their, you know, in a non-invasive environment, layman's terms, kids' terms, right? How can you bring these products into your home? What can you do to naturally help yourself without pharmaceuticals?
Mhm.
And it premieres December 15th. The red carpet's at the Venetian in Las Vegas at the A4M, which is a conference for doctors. There'll be over 7,000 doctors there. And yeah, and then it'll be on Amazon Prime and it'll also be on biohackyourself.com.
That is
Yeah.
awesome. And so what was your role inside of this? Are you being featured in this series?
Yeah, so they interviewed the founder of our company, Nick Lime, who is absolutely amazing. He's been in the space for 30 years, and myself. So my story is kind of the hero's journey, and then
Mhm.
also the opportunity, the business opportunity, because when you're pulled, or for me personally, I think a lot of women are like this, like you want to do something that's worthwhile. Like I call it a paycheck of the heart. When you're pulled out of the darkness, I mean, I didn't want to live anymore. And then I'm into the light and I'm traveling Europe and I'm changing lives and I'm seeing families transformed. I can't just stay there in the light, right? I got to go back and find more people. So I talk a little bit about the business opportunity as well, because it's a great way for people to either stay at home with their children or people like me who like to travel, to do something worthwhile, to impact others, to serve, and to make an okay income at it as well. So that's my part in the film. It's probably 2 minutes max, but Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is in it, Dr. Mercola, Jim Quick, Dave Asprey. There's a lot of big names in it. There's 113 interviews. So it's going to be great for everyone. And I think it's just going to open up people's eyes, a paradigm shift really in how we view healthcare.
Yeah, and I think that there's a calling right now for an updated or better version of what our healthcare system looks like here in the
Mhm.
US, especially.
Mhm.
So I'm super excited to one watch this. I mean, I wish I could sit next to you with popcorn and just and watch with you. But this is going to be. I invite all of our listeners. We'll make sure we have the links and all the information for you to definitely tune into this because I feel like we are in a transition between being over pharmaceutically driven, and
Mhm.
now we're asking ourselves what's another way, and we're going back to what works really, that doesn't line somebody else's pocket. And the first thing we take care of is we go, what is the holistic approach, what is the more natural approach? And when you talk about energy, it's the first and foremost element of being a human being, and
Mhm.
then just the different ways that we can look on this. So I just love this conversation. Honestly, I could ask you 1,000 questions around all of this, but I want women to find you. I want them to connect with you because while there is a business behind this, Matt, I think more so there is a lot of women that are in need of
Mhm.
alternative ways of how we as women, take care of our health. I know I talk a lot about it inside Truth Bomb Academy, how we just have a different flow to our lives.
Mhm.
And until that's acknowledged by every woman, and that it's acceptable to be a woman in the world,
Mhm.
I'm really excited. So you've got a magic mat. Does the magic mat have a name, by the way?
It is the cloud. So Centropic's cloud. Yes.
Okay.
Cloud in honor of Professor Dr. Kafka, who created the cloud. He also created a signal in 1998, and that's the signal I started with. So this is the new one, and he's the cutest thing. He's a little Einstein and just so fun. 83 years young, and I just adore him. So Kafka with a or cloud with a K in honor of Kafka.
I love it. We'll make sure that link to that mat is absolutely in this episode and on any of our blogs and podcasts so you guys can find that and see for yourself. Because
Mhm.
I really do invite you to check out the holistic side. And once you go down this path, I think as Danielle can tell you, so you opened up this door. What has been your other holistic experiences beyond just the mat? What other doors have opened up in this world?
Oh, so many doors. I mean, I work with a lot of different products. Of course, this is my key, but I do the molecular hydrogen bottles. I do the stem cell patches. I do, it's just opened up my mind to a whole nother way of healthy living,
Mm.
and just connecting with others. And, there's so many things I think people can do that don't cost money. One big thing I feel called to share is get rid of those dang AirPods. You are binging Bluetooth across your brain. Okay. So that's something you can do, hardwire into your phone. Just a tip. Um, there's so much out there you can do. The smart homes are not good for you. You're literally you're microwaving your family when you're surrounded by Bluetooth, but there are mitigation sources out there. So, that's kind of something like this. But yeah, it's just opened up a different world to me. Doctors, physicians, cold plunges. I take the cold shower. It gets your cells moving. I've done a few cold plunges. They're not easy, but there's a lot of things you can do for you and your family that doesn't cost anything. So just start tuning in and learning and reading books. Anything you can do to educate yourself.
Yeah, and I think you make a valid point, especially like I said, in the world of energy. The Bluetooth earbuds are probably the worst thing you can put in your head,
Mm-hmm.
to be absolutely honest.
Mm-hmm.
I have concerns about augmented reality sunglasses that are coming to the market near us. Uh,
Yes.
that's going to be a big thing because your eyesight and the energy that comes through your eyeballs is a very unique energy that is needed to regulate your sleep patterns and your stress and everything else. So I have some concerns as we advance in the world of AI and technology. It's also understanding how much of that you're actually allowing into your life and just recognizing the impact it's going to have on your health between electric cars, smart homes, all this
Mhm.
stuff. Yes, the technology is advancing, but humanity is still a human being.
Right.
So
Right.
all right. Well, I love this conversation. We can, like I said, we can continue talking about all of this. So, what is the best way to connect with you right now? I know there's so much going on in your business, getting everything prepared for this premiere and
Mhm.
everything that's coming on behind this. So, where can they reach out to you now and just connect with
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, Facebook, I don't think I have room, but you can follow me on Facebook, DanielleRambur.com or Danielle Rambur. And my website is Braveheart. That's the name of my business because I'm all heart, man. And I've had to be brave for the last 10 years. So Braveheart HW, which stands for Health and Wellness, bravehearthw.com. And then Instagram is Danielle_Rambur.
And we will make sure you guys have all these links available to you. And the other thing is, for those that are following Inside Truth Bomb Academy, get up close and personal with Danielle. She is actually in our academy. You can message her in there. You can see what she's up to. She is just an incredible powerhouse. And I love the journey of you being an entrepreneur and discovering the health journey that's really transforming people's lives. And I really want to say how much I appreciate you and who you are in the world for so many individuals and the lives you transformed and the lives you're going to transform from this. And I just want to acknowledge you for being a stand in that and taking on a lot around this and being there for your family and for your friends. That is no small accomplishment. So really just acknowledging you for who you are in the world. I truly appreciate you, Danielle.
Well, I appreciate you. I thank you for all you're doing for us entrepreneurs out there, just really helping us synchronize, organize. You've been there, you've done that, and it's just helping me move forward in ways I didn't dream I could do myself. So thank you for all you're doing for all us lovely ladies out there.
You're so very welcome. All right. So for those that are listening to this episode, if you like this episode, definitely comment down below. Let Danielle know that you love her and you're loving this conversation. And also, if you're watching this, go ahead and give us a 5-star review. Heck, why not? Let's support more women in business because in this conversation, Danielle really did say some incredible things. So if you ask yourself, did she really say that about holistic care? The answer is yes, she did. So thank you, Danielle, for joining us, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Thank you.